Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Pass and Pivot, the netball podcast that speaks about all things South African netball and all things netball related. Of course, we've come to the preview of the Commonwealth Games, which are happening right around the corner, 2 or 3 days' time. Well, the Commonwealth Games actually start tomorrow, which is the 3rd of July. I don't know when this is going to go to air, but our actual netball starts on the 25th of July on Saturday. And I'm joined to discuss the preview of the Commonwealth Games by Robin Waddacor from Netball with Robin. Hi, Robin. How are you?
Hi Zola, I'm good. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. It's been a lot of netball to have to think about and consume, but I'm good. I'm
Good.
good.
It's going to be exciting. The Commonwealth Games is just going to be another element of just more netball every single day for like 8 days. What, 7 days straight?
7 days
No, 8 days
straight. Yeah.
straight, which is going to be insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of netball, and we get to consume it and we get to talk about it before it happens. And
Yes.
how we're going to do it this time around is we're not going to go through each and every team per se, but we're going to look at the teams in Pool A mostly because that's where South Africa, the SPAR Proteas, are in Pool A. So we're going to look at the teams that they'll be playing and the matchups that are there, players that we should be watching out for, and the likes and so forth. But before we start that, there's been a lot that has been happening in netball in South Africa, as well as netball all over the world. And I want us to speak about a few things before we jump into the preview. If we look at the first talking point that I want to talk about is the lack of social media coverage for the SPAR Proteas. And I know, Robin, you did a video two videos highlighting this because we see the other nations are coming out full out strong with their social media and basically advertising and marketing their own netball teams, not just as a team from that country. Let's say, for example, we take the Diamonds. The Australian Diamonds social media team is really thriving and flying. Team England, English Roses, again, I just saw something where they posted things to do before the Commonwealth Games start on Saturday. And I'm just like, that is beautiful. So what is it that we are not getting as Netball South Africa? Or are we just trying to do something different? I don't know. What do you think on what's happening?
Well, yeah, I mean, I made 2 videos about it. I got people to tag Netball South Africa, and like they did. No news from Netball South Africa came from it. We've been tagging them. They should be seeing all of this. So, they should have their eyes on everything. They should know that people are asking for all of this. I don't know why they're not giving us something. And I don't know, like they're not trying anything new. So you can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're trying anything new for us to say, oh, they're trying something different. Like, they're not even trying at all, I would say. And it's not, I mean, they've given us like a little bit about each of the players, which is great, and the coaches,
Yeah,
which is
beautiful.
great. I mean, it's normal. That's what you should do. Give us a little bit about the girls. And then they've given a few interviews with the girls, some of the girls, they've had some interviews with,
Kamo, yeah, and Kanyisa.
yes,
I
and
don't know if that means that Kamo is our vice captain.
they
Oh,
had
Carla,
Carla,
okay. Yes,
Carla
Carla as
also,
well, yeah.
and then they have with Coach also. I think
Yes,
I saw
Coach
one
Sam.
with Coach Dan, but I mean that's just about it. Like I understand those should be in the middle of other things. Like it shouldn't just be
Yeah.
and done. We should be getting
So
more. We should be doing more. I don't know.
people consume media or social media much differently than back in the day where you'd sit with the interview and be like, okay, tell me we want to see, what does this person like to eat when they're traveling abroad, and what are they like behind the scenes? What, like, the trends that they're doing? Just there's so much that you could be doing
It's also about
as
the fun content. It's not
exactly.
just about the serious stuff. Like they should be placing them in between something fun, which
Yeah.
they're not, and then you wonder why maybe people are not going to like engage with the post or actually read the post so much, or listen to that interview because that's all they're getting, and then they're going to see another one and be like, oh, it's just another long interview, and only so
Yeah.
many people would stay. If they were doing like a mix up, there'd be more people more engaged. People would be like, oh, did you see this, or talk about it more. Whereas I feel like we're going into such a big tournament, and
It's
why
huge.
have we not like hyped this team up? Why have we not been showing something? people want to support. They do. They want to see what's going on. We want to see, the fans want to see, but we're not getting anything. And you're not going to lose anything by showcasing that information. Like, you're just only going to make it better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're only going to grow. You're only
Definitely.
going to have more eyes on it. It's not going to be worse.
No, you're right. You're very right. And I think for me, the thing is that we are asking as the supporters and no one's listening.
No,
It's like you can tag at Netball South Africa and nothing will happen. I feel like they have a plan and they don't want to deviate from that plan. But if you look at successful content that the social media teams for England Netball, Team England or England Roses are putting out, it's engagement. It's asking the fans, what do you think about this person? Like, tell me, what is your favorite sweet that you eat? And basically, you're getting people to want to sit down and watch the games. But before they even sit down and watch the games, you're getting people interested in who the English Roses are. And I keep
exactly.
posting on my stories these lovely clips of the Aussie Diamonds, English Roses, New Zealand, even Jamaica has come to the party with the videos
Okay.
that they have. And I'm just like, so we have the top four. What about number five? We are number five, and we want to break into that top four, and we will break into that top four. I do believe in time come, but we have to have the social media to go with our page. The fans of South African netball love netball, just don't have things to engage with.
No, and people to engage with. Because, I mean, you see, you know, there's the faces of the ones that are like really into social media, like in England and in the Diamonds. Like, they're posting, they're doing stuff on behalf of, you know, their team and showcasing things like that. Like, that's what we want. We want to see the faces. We want to know the people behind the team. We don't only just want to know the team. We're there to
Yeah,
support all of them. We want to get to know them. And yeah, I just think, I don't know, like, as much as you can share the information and tag Netball South Africa, and if they had I feel like they could have come up with a better plan. Like, I don't think any plan would have been a better plan.
use what's at your disposal. So basically, use us, use your people who want to speak about netball to your advantage. We're literally right there. Just send us a DM and we will collaborate and we will work because, or even use your own players. I don't know.
I don't think we'll ever get well, I don't think we'll get an answer, to be honest. But I hope that I know we keep saying it, like, that I hope they're seeing what's out there and I hope they're seeing what other teams do. But I think whoever is doing the social media, I think that Netball South Africa at the whole needs to kind of look at that and look and see, is this person doing what we need them to do? The thing is, at the end of the day, if we want netball to grow in South Africa, we need to have a better online presence, a better social media presence, because that is where it's heading. And you want to have a professional league in South Africa, great. If other players, let's just say we did have a professional league in South Africa and we want to get people from overseas coming and playing in this league, because if it is an amazing league, you'd want to get, you know, overseas players. They're going to look at us and they're going to be like, but I don't know anything about you. I don't know what you do. You know what I mean? Like, it just, nothing resonates with us because it's just the bare minimum. What are you doing? So I feel like you want to be world class. We've got to start acting world class. Like, you can't sit back and wait for it to happen. You've got to make it happen. And that's what I feel like is happening right now. It's like they're just waiting for something to happen, and then it will be like, you know, it's like they're waiting for, oh, if the girls win a gold or if they win a silver, if, you know, like if they win a medal, we're gonna do this better. But it's like, why are we thinking about when this happens? You know, it's like, think about now. How do we make sure that our goals in everybody's eyes feel amazing, look amazing? We hype them up. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I think adding on to that is the lack of transparency when it comes to who's going to be broadcasting this, because Netball South Africa is saying broadcast still uncertain, so it will be determined. But then you go on to World Netball, and World Netball is like, oh no, SABC is going to be streaming the games, so we should be able to watch it. And I'm just like, but then we usually have Super Sport, who's our broadcasting partner. So what does that then mean? So why are there two different stories being published Which one is true?
The thing is, Commonwealth Games starts tomorrow. So for the other sports, they start tomorrow. There should have been communication. Because when I was researching it, and then I saw they said we would have a free to air one, and we'd have a paid one. And I saw that it would be SABC would be the free to air. So all the sports would be on the SABC channels and the SABC app, not SABC
Yes,
Plus,
yeah, plus up,
which would be
yeah.
free to air for everybody to watch. And then I also saw that SuperSport was going to be as the paid alternative was going to be aired on SuperSport for people who pay, which most of the countries have, because in the UK also they have the free to air and then they have the paid one. And that was the information I went on. So the fact that Netball South Africa is to be determined.
To be determined, yeah.
Why are we waiting until a day before Commonwealth Games and still saying to be determined?
Because you want to plan your life. You want to plan to say, okay, are they going to have a preview show? Are we going to see Simi Mdaka? Are we going to see Amanda? Are we going to have commentators commentating in terms of doing an analysis in halftime? What is it that I'm going to be getting from the Commonwealth Games when it comes to netball? Because other countries, like for example, Australia, will have, when the Australian Diamonds are playing, they are going to have an analysis team, a team of experts, pundits speaking about it. So will we have the same, or are we just going to have to do our own punditry?
To be honest, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, why have they waited till the last minute? And not just for netball, for all the other sports.
All the other sports, yeah.
So not everyone has access to, let's say if it is on DSTV, we need to know, where can they watch? Or if it's on DSTV, is there going to be like pre-show analysis for other sports? Are they going to talk about the Commonwealth Games in general? Like there needs to be more eyes on it. Like,
yeah.
Is it because that it's less a well-known sport? It's not soccer, it's not rugby. Is this why they being like this? Or
I just feel like we're taking such a relaxed approach to these Commonwealth Games as Team South Africa. And I'm just like, what is it that we need to do as the sports that aren't like football and rugby to get that attention, to get that, or should I get to get the eyes of the people that we need to get on us as South Africa? In terms of, because you have all these random sports that are still very important, and you have our athletes going out there to report to represent Team South Africa at a Commonwealth Games. It's not something to be taken lightly, but I just feel like no one's speaking about it in the way that they should be speaking about it, unfortunately. So that's why we will be speaking about it, right? We're having a live on the 25th on Saturday.
Yes,
Do you
so
want
if
to
you guys
speak
are
more about
listening,
that?
yes, so we're going to be doing a live on Saturday, like a pre-match, I think week, like just like discussion about all the matches that are going to be happening.
Yeah.
Just a casual chat. So if any of you guys want to join. Send us questions that you want us to answer in the live. Any questions that you guys may have, send us some questions. We'll answer that. And then join, ask questions, and we'll answer as many questions. And just kind of have a chat about where we think South Africa is going, in the Commonwealth Games, and how do we think, what do we think will happen, really?
What do we think will happen? Yeah, definitely. I think we will do very well. But we'll get to that later.
Yes.
So what we're going to do now is we're just going to preview the first game. And the first game we have is against Malawi, the Malawi Queens, our fellow African sisters from up north. Well, no. Oh, wait, they're next to us. They're literally in the center, I think.
Literally.
Literally. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I say this because Malawi has a new coach in the ex-assistant coach of the New Zealand Silver Ferns, in Debbie Fuller, and she was part of that historic team that won gold in the 2019 World Cup. And last year she up and left after everything that happened with Dame Nolene. And yeah, I am very excited to see what she's doing with Malawi. We haven't seen anything from the Malawi Queens. No internationals, no nothing. They've been quiet. But I think we can expect a good match because we always have great matchups with this team, and most of the time we win. But I think we might be a bit surprised. What do you think?
I think with the new coach, I think she's obviously got a lot of experience. She's got a lot of experience going into that. So I think, yes, we haven't heard from Malawi since in a year, since she started, but she's probably been working behind the scenes and just sharing her knowledge and all that like wealth of experience that she comes with
Yeah.
on there. So I don't think us saying, oh, we've won all the matchups against Malawi, it's fine, we're going to win. I don't think that's the attitude we should be going in there with. And I don't think that's the other attitude the other team should be going in there with, to be fair, because you just don't know. They've probably been working silently and they can come out and, especially with the African sides, they have such a unique style of play.
Yeah.
And they are quite difficult, like with those matchups, and they are quite difficult to play against. So I think we should expect big things. I hope expecting us to win, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, but I do think that it could be a chance, depending on how it goes in the first two quarters, that we get to rotate our team, because rotating the team is going to be something that's very important within these 8 days, because we have 5 matches in the pool round. God hoping we reach the finals, the semifinals. So
Yes.
there's a lot of minutes that these 12 players have to play, and it's just the 12 players. So I do foresee Coach Jenny doing a lot of rotation in this match, but only if we are up by at least like 20. And I think if we look at the Malawian squad, the big names that I can really see that we might struggle against is a Mwawi Kamwenda. She was at the Vixens in 2020 when they won their first premiership in the new in the new Suncorp League.
Yeah.
And I think that we haven't seen her in the international stage for a while because she had a baby, and she's been playing for a premiership side in the Australian League, which is just below Suncorp. But I think that she will bring a lot of experience. And then we also have Stella Matelezi. She was at the TNL. She's that dynamic, explosive GA who just commands that attacking side so well. And I don't think she's played with Mwawi, if I'm correct. So it'll be interesting to see that combination and how it goes. And then obviously
Matelezi, didn't she go to Stella? She was in she in the Singapore League or was she in the Malaysian League?
Probably Malaysian League, yeah.
I
Not too sure.
I recognize the name, but I know she played there this year.
Yeah.
One of the two.
She's very, very much well known in the Malawian Queens team. Yeah. And they love her, and we love her at the TNL because she won like 4 player of the matches and she wasn't playing in the Division 1, so they were playing in Division 1. So I think that really did help the Malawian Queens because it was the youth team that came, but most of those youth players are now elevated into this team. So it will be very interesting to see how they go. And one who's coming back from retirement is Lwazi. She is a center that is so speedy, but it's going to be interesting how she comes back after retirement. What do you think of these names, and who do you think will be able to match up to them from the SPAR Proteas?
So I don't know Takwanda Lwazi, but coming back from like being in retirement, I think she's got to fill her own big shoes. You know what I mean? Like if she's got to come back with the bang. But I also saying that they wouldn't have picked her to come back from retirement. They wouldn't have just put her in that team. So I don't think we should underestimate her either. And we probably need somebody to kind of just shut her down and take her out. It'd have to be, I don't know, who would you pick to go up against her? Like someone speed.
I think for me, Tale Mate would be perfect here.
Literally about to say the same thing.
Speed on speed, because they're both very speedy, very, very like agile. So speed on speed. And also, I think a little bit of age will be on our side when it comes to this. Having Lwazi hasn't played internationals for a while, whereas Tale has played last year in the New Zealand as well as Australian series. So that will have helped her, and as well as in the TNL. So that's who I would start. Yeah.
What did Lwazi play, like a wing attack role or wing defense?
No, she was mainly center.
Well, I think having like someone like Tale could help, that defensiveness also, because Tale has that defense in her. She's like more of a defensive player, defensive center. So I think having her against her with her speed, and we know like when she goes for balls and what she can deliver. So I think that would be a good matchup. I agree there. Who else? What about looking at Tendai Masemba. She also played in the goal shooter. She played in the New Singapore League
Singapore.
and
Yes, she did. Wasn't she with?
in the Malaysia League. She played
Yes.
both of them. And she was pretty good. You know, they leaned on her a lot. And she is quite tall. She is like pretty tall. And she was quite good for them. Some of the games that I did watch. So I don't think we
Yeah.
should be sleeping on her either, because she has that. She's played with, you know, those with some of those big names, especially in the Malaysian League. She did with like Gretel Bueta and Laura Langman and the likes of.
Yeah.
So I
That
think,
experience would have helped her, definitely.
yes, the knowledge and the experience of playing with players like that.
Hmm.
So we should not be sleeping on this team. I think we'd start with our strongest seven. Like, I think we'll start off strong and then we'll see how it goes, and Coach Jenny will make the switches and switch ups in between. So
So
I
you
think we'll
say
just,
start with our strongest seven. Who's our strongest seven?
I mean, I don't know. I think they're all our strongest combos. Okay, well, we're going to go Almaday, goal shooter.
Mm-hmm.
The goal attack for me.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like Sammy would be good with that. Her connection with Al is really good.
Yeah.
I think for me it would be Sammy. Then that wing attack.
That's our problem. Let's be real. That is our problem in South Africa. And that's a weakness that I think when we get to Australia and England, they will expose and they will use to their advantage.
Unless we found a solution. So,
Do you think
and I
Carla
know,
Vector is the solution?
I think she could be. And I know it's a lot to put on a young girl's shoulders, like she's only 21, but at the same time, have you seen how amazing she is? And she's only going to grow from there. I don't know if she would start though, and I don't think she would start the first game. And I think they'd probably bring her in later. I would say Casey would be wing attack, and then center you would start with Tale, and then wing defense go Jamie. Goal defense, I think as much as I'd want to say it's Carla, I don't think so, because of the connection that like they have at the minute with Jamie, Sana, and Nicola. They've been playing together for like the last year, so they know each other really well, and that connection is really strong. So I think that would be the starting seven that they would go with, and then they would bring in throughout the game the likes of Carla, maybe switch with Kamo in, you know, that GA role, maybe even bring on Rulin in that shooter. I'm sure there'd be a lot of switch ups happening. They'd bring in Carla at wing attack, but I think the core, I think that would be like the starting seven from what I would think that they would go with, just purely on the connections that have been formed at the minute. And then we go. What do you think?
Okay, I think that I agree with your starting lineup, and I wouldn't change anyone. But I do think that maybe wouldn't we start with Carla Pretorius to see how she goes with this new combination against an African team that's very hard to beat, to prepare us for the finals that we will probably get to. But before we even get to the finals, for our last two games.
I don't want to be hopeful. I mean, I would start her. I honestly think she'd be amazing. But I think they probably want to work her in slowly to be, you know, in that I think they wouldn't necessarily start her the first game, maybe like the second game. But I think the first game they kind of are going to want to go in, and they're going to want to go in guns blazing, you know what I mean, with what everybody knows.
The mood and tone.
They're going to set the mood, and they're going to kind of just set the tone with the players that everybody knows, their usual, and then they'll start changing it up, and then we'd probably see like a different starting seven going into the other matches going forward. But I think we're going to probably see like a standard, you know, the same for the first game. A safe one, and then we're going to start like mixing it up a bit. That's what I think. We'll see on Saturday when they release their squad, because we'll see on, you know, Saturday morning when they come and say they started with Carla or they, you know,
or even they started with a Refilwe. Who knows? You
know, the connection. I mean, both Carlas and Refilwe have that connection in them. Free State Craniums, they won. They have that connection. So like if you put them in each third,
you've got like a third of the Free State Craniums, basically, and they were each stand out in you know, in their thirds. So I think, and then they have that connection already down to a T. Adding them in there could also elevate it. So I mean, you could maybe even look with the starting lineup of Carla wing attack, Fifi center,
and Kaula goal defense. Like you could look and then work in the other. So it could go that way. We just have to see.
And I think one thing we are certain of is that we have a solid starting 7. And now it's just for our coaches to see who they play for who they are playing against, I guess. If we move on to the game number 2, which we're playing is Tonga. I think this will be like the second time we play Tonga in the last 5 years. We played them in the World Cup 2023 and we won against them convincingly, 76-40 something. But we can't sleep on this Tonga side because we have a star shooter who, I'm saying it on this podcast, speculation, is probably going to London Mavericks, Unique Pallavi. She is from Melbourne Mavericks, so it would just make sense. Poetry in motion.
Mavericks, right? Like
Exactly.
leaving one Mavericks for the other one. I do have a sneaky suspicion. We'll see. I mean, they are releasing their squad like after the Games, aren't they? So we will see. Maybe they do need a shooter, and I think she would be a good fit for them.
Yeah, she'd be the greatest. Yeah.
And she has been good in SSN, and I don't think we should sleep on her. I think definitely she would be the one we need to shut down when we play them.
So who would shut her down for you? Would it be a Sana Marie or would it be a Nicola?
I'm going to go with, I think, a more Sana on this one.
I was thinking the same.
Just with her style of play and the way that Sana plays. And I think she could be a good matchup for her.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good one.
I also think if not her, then even Jamie. Jamie would be great there because Jamie sticks so close to her player. But, Jamie is not really a goalkeeper. So I guess that would be.
I mean, she has played goalkeeper this season in Mavericks for like here and there. But I think Jamie's more like when she's out of that circle. That's the thing. Like Jamie's Jamie when she's out of the circle.
Yeah.
Give her a little box.
Yes. Yeah.
Putting her in a little bit of a box, kind of, you can't really see what she can do. So I don't I think maybe if Unique was like goal attack, then
apparently she does play a bit of goal attack. So
but we would have to just see what their connections are, because I don't know much about the Tonga team, but I know Lita Vive. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. Sorry,
Vive,
but she's also really, really good. Like
she played with the Firebirds.
I was actually surprised she didn't get a contract this year.
It's tough in that league, and you have to wait for someone to retire or for them to just say, okay, I'm done, because there's only 80 spots to fill, and if you don't perform, it's tough. It's so tough in that league.
But she comes with the experience. I mean, you've seen her. She does come with that experience. And what she's learned. So I do think we shouldn't sleep on her. But those are like the only 2 players I know. Right?
But I love playing against the Polynesian islands, because they have such a beautiful way of playing and we don't get to play against that type of play. So it's great for us to be able to see what we still need to do to fine tune a few things. And I love that we're starting off with the more, I'm not going to say easier because I'm giving respect, but games that are building us up to the top 4. And I think Tonga
comes with creativity, because like those Polynesian teams, like they are very creative, and so is Malawi, like with how they play. But also like the Polynesian teams, like they are so like, I don't know how they're so like creative and so in their play, like it's just like the flair, that comes with it, like how they play, and you watch them and just like, how do they do that? Like how do they move like that? How do they, turn like that? Or, it's just, I just think it's amazing to watch, but it will be also amazing to see what our girls can do playing against that, and also against kind of the unknown, because yes, it is a build up to Australia and to England, but we're playing kind of in unknown territory.
Definitely. And it could go either way.
Our girls need to adapt, and with the limited knowledge that they've been given and analysis that they were given on these teams, so they're going to have to adapt and to see how quickly they can adapt their game, what they can do to shut down players, what they can do to win more ball, things like that. So I think as much as it may be a little bit easier, it still will be tough mentally, because these got to now change their whole mental thinking on we're not just playing.
Definitely.
Getting into that is going to be a bit of a tough one, and I think mentally each of them's got to be strong and physically, because it's going to
Yeah.
take a lot out of you to play some like amazing netball consistently throughout the week, and then
Yeah.
knowing that your toughest games are
It's their
right
last
again
game. Yeah.
is your last pool
It's true.
game.
Yeah.
It means that you have to be on the entire way through. Like you can't
Sure.
drop the ball. It is literally, you got to be building up. Like there's no every match is important as if it was your last match.
Yeah. Because if you mess up this one, you can't mess up anymore. So
That's exactly.
that's the
So
thing.
they have to win all their games up until they get Australia and England. Like they cannot, you can't miss a game. You have to win. And I think it's the pressure of being like, we have to ensure that we win every single game.
I shouldn't think about it like that, but yeah, there is pressure. But we thrive under pressure as South Africans. We love a pressure cooker, as Coach Jenny said when she was on the pod. They thrive on some pressure. So all the best to them. I
Yes.
just think that we do definitely have to keep our heads down and be humble before we get there. So we have game 3 is Northern Ireland. I don't think we've ever played this team before in our lives. I did research
No.
and it seemed like we have come against Northern Ireland before. Northern Ireland is a team that is made up of a lot of people that have played in the NSL, but I'm not too familiar with, except for your Neve Cooper, who's the captain of Nottingham Forest. And then you have Orlaith Rogers. She's a Rhinos next gen girly. She was defender, and I think she even was listed as one week she was there in the team for the Rhinos when they had all those injuries, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
I do remember her.
Yes, but she didn't take court. Then we have Michelle McGee.
Yes.
There we go. She plays for Birmingham Panthers, but she didn't actually have a lot of time on court, and I
It
haven't
is
seen her
unfortunate. We
play.
haven't seen a lot of her this season.
Yeah.
What she can do and what she can bring on court. She was injured for a bit, wasn't she?
Oh, yes, actually, that's true. She
And
was injured.
I think that's why it probably shouldn't have a lot of time. It was coming back from injury. So maybe it was just managed minutes.
Yeah. She is the
And
captain of the side, so
she is the
of
captain of
Northern
the
Ireland.
side. But Neve Cooper, she is amazing. I mean, if you watch Forest,
Love her.
she is brilliant. Literally, like, I feel like you are going to have to take her out of that game. She is definitely
Yeah.
one person, like, in that whole team. I'm like, you got to take her out because she is
Mm.
good. She's quick.
She really is.
She moves. She knows where she needs to be. So I think she is definitely one that we should be worried about a little bit in that team.
Yeah, and she plays wing defense and center. So
Yes.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
a matchup, I think, would probably be Rafiwe. Probably.
Actually, yeah, because
I think she'd be the
definitely.
height-wise also in terms of like height, speed. They both have that like defensive game going on. So I think that would match up perfectly if they started Fifi at center for
Yeah,
that
I
game.
think so too.
If
This
she
Fifi
starts,
gives me a Jamie Lee Price, like tough. She's tough. She's a toughie, and I like that. So definitely. I guess though, it would be a good time to see where your bench players are if you start them in a game like this, to see where they can get the team. You know, we don't want to rely so much on our starting 7 that is standard, but let's see what our bench players can do. And, it is the game before we play Australia next. But I do think that it should be a game where we win by a big margin. So just to give us that little bit of breathing space, I guess.
yeah.
But again, we can't take anything for granted. Anything can happen. I
No.
really do like these Commonwealth Games. It's anyone can take it. Anyone can come and do what
I
they
think
want.
all the teams have stepped up a lot this year in terms of what they can offer, what they bring. So I don't think going into this Commonwealth Games we can all just be complacent and we can all just think this team's going to win this team. I think it's going to be tough for all the teams going out there, and I just think they each have to go in with like that mindset of every game matters, because it does.
It really does. Can't mess up. Which leads us to Australia, our game number 4. Australia and England play each other in the second game, but we are going to play Australia in our fourth game. I want to ask you a question, Robin. Do you think that we should put all our focus on England, or should we give a crack at Australia as well?
I think we should take both. Like, I do not think we should be. I think we should take on both teams. I don't think we should go in there with the mentality of, "Ugh, we're going to lose anyway, so let's just." I feel like if we're going to take a good crack at this, we're going to take it. Like, we shouldn't be half-assing anything. We should fully go for it. Because I think if they have that belief that they can do it, and if no matter what happens, they had that anyway, I think it will just give them a boost. So I think they should go in there with that mentality. You can't go in there with a losing mentality. You got to go in there with a winning mentality. You've got to take it straight through. If you want this, and if the girls want this, they have to think that they can do it. That's the only way that they're going to get through it. So I hope when they're playing these games, they are going into, especially that Australia game, and thinking, we can do it. Like, that is just the mindset that they need to be in. And I think because England and Australia play early, it'll give South Africa time to analyse both of those games, to actually see where both of those teams fit in, because whatever happens in that game is going to then determine how we play them, and how we play England and what we can do differently. So I think it's good that they're playing each other first, because then we know what to expect from them.
Exactly.
Whereas Australia will not know how we match up against England. The only thing England will know how we matched up against Australia, but literally a day before. Like, it doesn't give them much time, you know what I mean, to kind of go through much. So I think it might play to our favour of having us play them the way that we're playing them, because we get to see that analysis and train for it specifically, and play in our previous games maybe the way we want to play up against these two teams, as in like practice, three teams like practice. So I think it's a good thing.
I think so too. And I think either way, we're going to play Australia when we get to the final.
I mean, come on.
So either way, so might as well go out guns blazing now and get it done. And I think this Australian team is not wait. I say it now, and I say it with I'm being real, Robin. I really am. I'm laughing. So real, because not by us at the moment, but when we get to that final, we will be able to beat them. I think we still need to suss them out in terms of where they are at, and we'll see that with their first game that they play with, the second game that they play with England. But most of these players haven't had an amazing Suncorp season. Like, they've just been here. But they're amazing players. Okay, controversially or whatever, but they're amazing players. But players can take them. I really do believe this. And I think, if not now, when? That's my 2 cents.
Definitely, I don't know. I do think Australia can be beaten. Don't think by us, but I do think it'll be a pretty strong matchup, probably between them and New Zealand. I think New Zealand can definitely give them a run. But I do think it is definitely something that South Africa should be working towards, because I think we have the capability to do so. We just need to instill the belief. I think it comes down, because we have the talent. Like, we really have the talent. It is all a mental game. It is literally a mental game. And if these girls can get it in their head that they can be winners, like, it'll just take them to the next level. And maybe in the next 2 years, we could, 2-3 years, we can beat Australia. But I do think we definitely would make them scared. I do think they are not going in there thinking this is going to be easy. I don't think they're going to be looking at us and thinking this is going to be the same team that we beat last year. 100%. They are definitely not going in there thinking it's going to be easy. Coach Jenny has done an amazing job to make everybody think that this is not going to be easy. And the girls have done an amazing job. So I do think it is going to be a tough game. But I don't think we're going to win it. But I'm hoping.
Can you get a draw at the Commonwealth Games? I actually didn't research
No,
that. I don't think you can get a draw. It has to go into extra time.
I don't think they'll win, but I don't think that they're going to lose by a lot either. Like, I don't think they're going to get an ass whipping.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's
But I
put
feel
the
like,
goals like they are gonna get there, and it is going to be a tight matchup. They are going to be questioning what they need to do.
yeah, no, definitely. But I'm just putting it out there that anything can happen on the day. You do get a draw. You get 1 point in the pool stages.
So it will
So
then depend on the points, I'm
yes, it
assuming.
goes
And
back
then
to
it will
points.
depend on, if you have the same amount of points, it'll depend on goal difference.
Goal
So we
difference.
need to make
Exactly.
sure that in our first few games, our goals are really high.
Mm,
The goal difference is really high, so that if we do come to the tougher games and a draw does happen, the
yeah,
points will work in our favor. So
definitely. Okay, now we move on to that game. Game number 5. That game that we have to win. It's not a
this is
draw
the
here.
game. This
This
is
is
the
a
game
must.
that's going to make sure that we go
Yeah.
into those semis.
And this is the game that is going to show everyone that we mean business. And I
Mm-hmm.
say this because yes, they have Jada Pekova now and they have a healthy Eleanor Cardwell, but we have done this before countless times. We've beat England so many times before, not when it counted the most, but why not now? And I think for me, we have to take that belief again. It goes to belief. We have to take that belief of that series that we won, and in the third game we won convincingly with 12 or 13 goals difference. So it's possible. And I just think that we can do it.
Our goals have played against these players. Our goals
Mm.
know they play in the Netball Super League, with these players. They do know them, and I think
Mm.
then it gives them a little bit more, they maybe they're not as stressed about it because they know the type of players they are. They've played with them before. Nicola, Sunmarie, and Jamie, they've
Jamie.
been playing against Eleanor
Week in, week
for
out.
week in, week out, so they know her. Nicola's been training with her, you know what I mean? So they should know how to shut her out and to shut that connection down with her and Lois and Nat, because Nat also Metcalf, if they bring her on, they know how to feed her. So they're gonna have to shut out the feeders, I feel like, because Eleanor Cardwell, she has that claw. Like she's gonna get any ball.
She's
That
gonna get
ball's
it. Yeah, exactly.
that ball's going in, she's going to get that ball. So instead of trying to take her out, I feel like they need to take out the wing attack and the goal attack, the people who feed her.
Yes.
That's who.
So if their goal attack is Sasha Glasgow, I would put a Carla Pretorius there. Do you know why I would put a Carla Pretorius? Because I feel like that experience. Sasha Glasgow is such a confidence player, and you see it when she plays for FIFA. Is that when she gets the shots in, she's on, she's ready. You can't stop her. But if she misses the first two, or that she's not getting to her shooter, then there's an opportunity there. And I'm not sure who they're going to start. They're probably going to go with a Lois, sorry, because I just think that they want a stronger GA. But do they want to lose a GA and gain a winger? I don't know. I'm so glad it's not our problem. I guess ours is who are we going to say we are going to put against these players they bring up against us?
I do think Lois is really good wing attack though too. As much as I think she's a goal attack, I think she's a good wing attack. But then that connection that they have with Al, because that's the thing, if they put Al on, what if they go and they put Chin on? We just don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't know.
Like, as much as we can say that they could put Al on, they could, but they could also might as well start with Chin, because that has
endless possibilities, eh? Endless possibilities.
Also, and but then the connection with Alan Lois, and I think if you had Nat and wing attack, their connection's been like really strong.
Connection, yeah.
And then if you have Amy Carter starting, that's literally the whole Manchester Thunder,
basically,
like attacking in. And they have been, you saw, like going throughout the season, they really were great. So I think
building, yeah.
they keep building and they keep building, and they have that connection. Like if they had like that starting attack, it could be good, but it just depends on how their combos go and how they want to start. But I still do think they do have a missing goal attack. I mean, Helen Halsby would have brought that together, but
they would have,
as much as Lois is good, Sasha's good, are they good enough is the question.
Yeah. I guess we also have that goal attack problem then, because I'm pretty sure they've gone and they've studied Sammy when she played against them, and they will know what she's good. But I don't even think Sammy knows what she's going to do most of the time when she plays, because she's just such a creative player that she feeds on what she sees. And I think it's hard to plan against that. But I'm sure Fran would have done her homework. Fumi would have done her homework. And they've both had really good seasons in their respective domestic leagues. I mean, like Fran won the best player and Fumi also won the best player in their clubs. So I think that it's not going to be easy,
No, and
but
I
the
think they're
key
coming.
here,
They're coming
yeah,
to show us. They're literally coming to say,
exactly,
"You do not beat us,
exactly.
and you cannot do it twice." Like I definitely think that they're going to come in with that mentality of thinking that they need to prove something, and they're not gonna mess around. But I still do think we can take this team.
That's exactly my thoughts as well, is that we definitely can. And the reason why I say that is we have Almere van der Berg, and she was great in January, but she's even better now.
Oh, 100%.
So how they plan for that is for them. But I do think we need to play to Almire's strengths. We can't be
Mhm.
putting pressure on her. We can't be asking her to come out of the circle. Yes, she does that, but it's not what she wants to do. So we need to be, I
I
don't know.
think everybody needs to be on like 100% of the time. Everybody needs to play their part. They all need to work together and they all need to just, they need to focus and they just need to execute perfectly. Like I don't think they
Yeah.
can make silly mistakes. There's no silly mistakes that can happen because that will be the game that either gets them through or doesn't. So they need to, that'll be the same for England because
Yeah.
if they had to win against Australia, I'd be surprised, which
Hey,
I don't.
apparently this team, England believes they can, so let them. I think that they've done it before in the pool stages. They beat Australia. So, I mean, in the World
I
Cup,
mean,
they did it.
amazing things have happened. So
That
we'll
would make
see.
it much more easier for us then.
Yeah, until they decide they lose, and then they
Yeah,
decide to work
true.
on even harder, and then we come along and then they smash us. I think it'll be interesting,
Yeah,
but we can.
we
I've got
definitely can.
England. I think they've become like our rivals, like one of those like how
Yeah,
Australia and New Zealand they have that rivalry. England are
England
ours.
are ours. Yeah.
England
And
are
I
ours,
think
and
we've proven so many times that we can, and this would just be another one of those times. But I think I wanna also just chat on the English team and the way that they've come about after their ex-coach Jess Thirlby has left, like not left, she left the position. They have come under a lot of fire. They, of course, it's a bit, I wouldn't say, people are saying that they're not expecting this team to do great, so there's no pressure. But I'm saying, how do you say that to a top four team? Is it just to make sure that if it doesn't happen, there was not an expectation, or are you just throwing in the towel and saying it's whatever right now because the team and everyone around them has gone through so much? Which one is it?
I don't know. I feel like it's probably the latter, probably. But
Mm,
I do think that they shouldn't. I feel like they should just because they've got a new coach. I feel they've all handled it. Like they haven't like doubted her or anything. And I do think they have the belief. So I feel like everybody should back them. I mean, if they're your team, you should be backing them, right? Like you should
yeah,
be no matter what, like putting all your faith in them and backing them because no matter who the coach is, they do have a great group of women representing them. So it shouldn't necessarily be like, oh, because you don't have a coach, it's okay if you guys don't win. It's okay. Back your ladies. Back them.
exactly.
You pick this team. Do you not have faith in them?
Yeah,
And Jess has been there. She has been their coach. She wasn't the head coach, but she knows these women. Why put somebody there who you don't have belief in to assemble a team that could do great things?
exactly.
Why would you do that? I don't know. That's just to me like, why would you do that to your team? Why would you want them to fail and know that it's okay if they did?
I really do think that it's a narrative that they're trying to push so that if anything were to happen, they weren't expecting. But at the same time, they're saying they want to go there and win the gold. And they have won a gold before against Australia in 2018. The only other team to do it, I think, is I don't even know if New Zealand has ever won a gold. I think it's been silver. So
Yeah.
it's a team that can, but we're also a team that can. And I think we have done all the work we can, and we've played against all these top four teams in the last 2 seasons since Coach Jenny has been a coach. So there has been forethought to all of this. And that's what I love about our coaches, is that they have a plan. So we will trust that plan. But now let's say, God forbid, we don't make it into that final. We finished, or semi-final, we finished 6th in 2022. Our worst finish in a while.
Yeah.
We usually finish 5th, but Uganda went and beat us like they did in the 2023 World Cup. Anyway, sorry, I still can't believe that. We beat the pool stages, and then all of a sudden we can't win. Anyway.
Yes, don't even.
So what do we do if that happens? And I think it's not the end of, for me, I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't make it into the top 4. I think it will just mean we have much more work to do for the World Cup, because World Cup is also, it's made kind of like the same way as the Commonwealth Games. So I think it's not going to be the end of the world. It will suck because everyone is thinking we're going to do it, and everyone is thinking we can. I mean, so many people believe in us. I believe in us. We believe in us, but we must also give, I think, space for that to say it's okay, right?
Yeah, I do agree. We should, either way, as fans, as supporters, it doesn't matter what happens. We're just there to support the team. If they don't win, it's okay, but we also need to show them that it's okay at the end of the day, because you know how sometimes it can get where the backlash comes in because you built this expectation and they failed, and then they go under scrutiny. So I do think we need to, whatever happens, good or bad, we need to be there for the team. And as fans, like, I do beg of everybody, whatever happens, you still got to have the belief in your team. You got to have the belief in the coaches. Do not blame the coaches. Do not blame the team. Do not blame anybody involved, because upsets happen and things do happen. We just got to back our team no matter what happens. Yes, of course.
Exactly.
We want them to win. We want them to go far. But we need to also know that if it doesn't, it's okay. And we need to let them know, because that is just going to take their self-esteem down even further than their self-esteem would have been down. And it would then set South Africa back even more than, where they started. So I do think we as fans play a role in this, as much as we don't want to think we do play a role. So we need to support our goals no matter what happens.
Exactly. And I think we can back them even if we're playing for 5th and 6th playoff, but we have to be 5th. We can't digress and be lower than the number that we actually are in world rankings. And that's my hope. And that's my...
No, because this is going to determine world rankings. So we cannot, or else we go down again, and we cannot go down. We need to be 5th.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess that leads me to medal predictions. Where do you think we're going to end? Well, what do you think the medals are going to be? Who's going to medal, should I say? Give me your gold, silver, and bronze.
I'm thinking it's going to be Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. That's what I'm thinking.
You don't think Jamaica?
No.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
I mean...
So for me, it's the mid-court. It can't happen with the mid-court. Yeah.
You can't just have a team with defenders.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And they got Romelda Aiken-George, but is she on...
She's on her last legs.
She's not on peak form. And she's good, great, but that's it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't... I don't know. I don't think so. I do think they'll be able to, I do think they'll go far, but I don't think they could medal.
So my medal predictions would be Australia, South Africa, New Zealand. I think we got to get a silver. And I think we can.
Well, let's just say if we had to, because I mean, like the top. So if, let's just say it's South Africa and it's
Australia
and South Africa, and then the next pool, it surely would be Jamaica and New Zealand. In order for us to go to that final, because we'd be number 2, we wouldn't be number 1 in our pool.
We have to beat New Zealand, and we can. We can beat New Zealand. We definitely can.
It would be a bit of a tough one, but they do have some new players in their mix, don't they? And I think they also kind of have the same with the
GA
whole goal of
problem.
the GA problem.
Yes,
And I feel like it's
exactly.
a recurring problem in all the teams. They do have this like goal attack problem.
I think I fancy my chances against a New Zealand who's gone through so much and has shame. They've gone through a lot and they are still going through a lot. So in terms of their possibility of having a league next year, so I fancy my chances against a New Zealand more than a Jamaica. I feel like our attacking end wouldn't do well against the Jamaica. Yes, El is great, but she's El by herself. We can't forget about Wilson and Jodie Ann Ward, and we can't forget about them.
I think we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Like this is
That's
it's
it.
it's like it could go. We just don't know what could happen. I mean, we say that Jamaica and New Zealand could be the top two. What
You
if
still
I
have
don't know?
Uganda,
What if Uganda?
Scotland,
What if Uganda
Wales.
like comes through? Because Uganda can. What if
Mm,
Uganda come through and beat Jamaica, for example, and make
anything
that
can happen.
top two? Like we just don't
Exactly.
know. Like I know we're just saying. I do think it would be Jamaica and New Zealand. Uganda. I mean, they've beaten us, and they are pretty good.
Twice.
Twice. Okay, they have really good players. We should not be sleeping on them either.
Definitely. And I'm looking forward to watching Uganda versus Scotland, and Wales versus Scotland will also be good. So all those other in the pool B, I'm very much looking forward to the matchups that are there. And I think this is a Commonwealth Games that is going to get us a teaser and a taste for next year's World Cup. And
Mm-hmm.
next year's World Cup is going to be in Sydney in Australia. And it will be one of the World Cups where I feel like anyone can medal. But obviously, Australia wants to get the gold because it's in their backyard. But these games are just giving us a little bit of a taste. I love international netball that's like this because you get to play against other nations that you wouldn't usually play against in a series, and you get to
No.
see where you are. And us as supporters, we get to watch netball, international netball, in one go, not just in drips and drabs. And that's beautiful. And I just hope, my hope is that we actually go out there and we support, and that these Commonwealth Games could be an opening for investors to come in and invest in our leagues, and for the players to feel like they're seen and taken care of by their organizations and the administration. But what is it that you would want for these Commonwealth Games to bring forth for the world netball, or just netball in general, Robin?
I would hope it would be, I suppose, more money into the sport, more eyes on the
We
sport.
need more
But
money.
then I do think World Netball needs to maybe do a little bit more for the sport,
Yeah.
because I do think there are so many women that play netball everywhere. In England, it's like the number one women's sport. In Australia, it's the number one women's sport. In South Africa, it's the number one women's sport. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. We can keep
why
going.
we
Probably
can keep
is.
going. In so many of these countries, like it is the number one sport for women. We play it in school, we play growing up, like we play it all the time. So why does it not have money when so many people play the sport? Why aren't we being as innovative as rugby, as cricket, as football? Like why we're not trying something different? But we'll say, oh, but it's because women, but I don't know. I just think we need innovative thinkers. Maybe
We need business-minded people,
we need
not
like some
just,
innovation,
yeah.
um, people thinking about, the future of netball and the future of women's sports and where we're going to
Mm,
take them. So you need people who are those sort of minded and who are thinking how we can take this game to the next level.
yeah.
So it's a difficult one because, like in netball, a lot of people work on like volunteering and it's not really like a full-time job. So
Volunteering.
then that's
Yeah.
also probably like a reason why. But we probably do need some fresh blood making decisions and someone
Yeah.
with some different experience and someone who wants to take the sport to another level. Um, but yeah, it just comes down to promoting the sport. It comes down to like being literally, it's all just like commercial, it's all like online. It's about getting those commercial contracts, getting people to like come in and getting big businesses to back netball. We need big businesses to back netball because they have a lot of money and they have a lot of like
Private
say
sector.
when
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
we need to get more of them involved. I do hope we see more eyes on netball in the future, and I want that, and I want our fans to also. We want more netball fans. Like we want more fans of the sport. And to be fair, a lot of people have been over literally like the last like year, haven't they? There's so many creators that talk about netball a lot more. There's so many people
Yeah.
out that I've seen on TikTok and stuff. And I think that's just what we need to do. We just need to keep creating and keep talking about netball and just keep spreading the word. And that's the only way that it'll get big is if we keep pushing it in that right direction.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're doing as Pause and Pivot. We are pushing the narrative of netball, and we are making sure people are speaking about the SPAR Proteas. Wow, we have chatted. It's been great. I think we can bring it to a close.
Yes.
Yeah, so don't forget, guys, to register for the live event that we have on Saturday, the 25th of July. We are going to be speaking about more netball. And thank you so much, Robin, for joining me to preview all things Commonwealth Games. Maybe we'll have what's a post view? Review. There we go.
A review.
We'll have a review of the games after. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a good
Thank you for
day.
having me, Sola. I really appreciate it. I enjoy all the times that I come on here and chat with you. So it was lovely. And also have a great day. And I can't wait for our chat on Saturday. And I hope that many of you are going to be joining in.
Definitely. Bye, everyone. See you when I see you next. Bye.
Bye.